Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome yourselves back to the Sam Redgate-Large channel. And we're back for some Champions League football. My first Champions League stream of this season. I guess. Yeah, that's probably the best way to say it. Our first one of this season. I'm looking forward to it tonight. And what a game to kick ourselves off with. Liverpool versus Rangers. It's going to be a good one. Should be a really, really good one. Of course, Liverpool come into this, the side that I will be focusing on tonight. If you'd like to go see a more Rangers-focused side, then go and check out A View from the Stands. Go and check that man out for, that man Josh, out for a Rangers perspective of tonight's match. But I will be focusing more on Liverpool for tonight. And Liverpool, of course, come into this after a 3-3, heroic 3-3 draw, which had everything. It had thrills, spills, a Trossard hat-trick. What more could you want from a game at the weekend? Which does mean Liverpool come into this in pretty bad form for a Jurgen Klopp side. And there's a lot of questions around the likes of Trent Alexander-Arnold and particularly Jurgen Klopp as well. So we'll wait and see how this one plans out. If you are there, do let us know what your score prediction is for tonight. We'll have a run through the teams. I do believe there are a few changes from the weekend for Liverpool, and we'll have a look at Rangers as well and see how they set up for tonight. But a big night for Rangers, of course. Their first season back in the Champions League for a good 10, 15 or so years, particularly since they were put into administration. Evening to Real Tom, who says, am I covering Josh tonight? I'm not tonight. I am not covering for Josh tonight. I just decided to hop on and do this one myself. And Max says, yo, 2-1 to Liverpool, Max is saying. And Real Tom's gone with a 7-0 to Liverpool prediction. That is a very bold statement is what I'm going to say there, Real Tom. That is a very, very bold statement. But that being said, who knows? It might come true. It might come true. You don't want to be on the end of Liverpool having drop points, and Bournemouth will tell you that. And it might be Rangers who might be the side to feel the full force of Jurgen Klopp's men tonight. And we will take a quick dive and have a look at the sides for us. So what we'll do is we'll get our trusty sofa score up on the screen. I do apologise because I'm only on one screen tonight using my Fire Stick. It does mean that I am just going to have to share the screen, which does mean you will have a little bit of the streaming setup on your screen. Oh, they've changed this round. That is interesting. Right, let me just swap over and go over to the intermission screen, and display capture then needs to be on if it's going to work for me. Hopefully it does, and it doesn't let me down. That would be very useful. Let's have a look. This one? Aha! Now we've got it. Now I just need that on. Here we go, ladies and gents. Here we go. Right. So as you can see on your screens right now, this is the Liverpool side for tonight. So the Liverpool side for tonight looks like a change in formation. Do we trust that it is a change of formation? Do we think that SofaScore have got it correct? Potentially, if you look at who has lined up, I'm not sure who would drop into that Liverpool midfield for a 4-3-3. But we'll kick ourselves off with a very familiar defence of Alisson in goal, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Joel Matip, Virgil van Dijk, and then Konstantinos Tsimikas at left back. So a very familiar defence, of course. Tsimikas being the backup for Robertson, and starting to get a little bit of game time himself as well. Jordan Henderson makes his Champions League debut for this season, coming in that defensive midfield role with Thiago Alcantara. Then you've got, this is where the difference is, of course, Liverpool usually play that 4-3-3, which we're so used to seeing. Usually if Firmino comes in, he will drop into that midfield three almost, and play that, what's the best way to describe it, that Gini Wijnaldum role of a little bit more pressure, a little bit more aggression further forward. But tonight they are going with something a little bit different, as you can see, as there is 4 attackers that have been named. I am intrigued to see whether Diego Jota might drop a little bit further back, and it's more of a 4-3-3 with an attacking midfielder rather than a 4-2-3-1, a complete change of form. But I guess it's much for a likeness, really, isn't it? There's not too much difference there. And afternoon to Shrafter as well, who's just joined us. You missed the Arsenal one. What Arsenal one? Liverpool versus Arsenal, 3-0 to Liverpool. Real Tom, you are such a loyal fan, aren't you? Shrafter says, long time no see. My channel has changed a lot. Good stuff, Shrafter. Good stuff. Great to see you, mate. Hope you are doing okay. But like I say, as you can see here, Mohamed Salah, Diego Jota, Luis Diaz, and Darwin Núñez. So only time will tell. Only time will tell whether Darwin Núñez is going to start up front by himself, and whether it's going to be more like a 4-2-3-1. But I don't think it will be. I do not think it will be, in my personal opinion. But as we scroll ourselves down, we can then take a look at the Rangers side, which will be playing for this evening as a 4-5-1, more like a 3 at the back than a 4-5-1. But a lot of familiar names there. If you are a follower of Rangers, there are a lot of familiar names there for you to keep your eyes out for and get yourself up to speed with, and a lot of players that can cause some problems. So let's have a look at this team then. And interestingly as well, former Liverpool player starting in central defence. I did think it was. That's why I've just checked it on my phone. I thought it was Ben Davies, the former Liverpool player who Liverpool just randomly signed one season when they were short on defenders, and they decided to sign him from like Preston or something like that. Signed him, and he didn't play a single minute for him. But former Liverpool player, you can say that's on your CV. That ain't too bad. But McGregor starts in goal, and the 5 at the back is Barisic. You've got Leon King, who is 18 years of age, playing in the Champions League. He's got bigger balls than I do, I tell you what. Ben Davies and Connor Goldson are the other 2 centre-halves, which, of course, the captain James Tavernier playing out on that right wing-back role. Then you've got Ryan Kent on the left-hand side, Stephen Davis and John Lundstrom with Malik Tillman on the right-hand side. And then Alfredo Morelos, obviously the danger man, the goal scorer, the man with a keen eye up front for Rangers, and also a little bit of a hothead as well. And if anyone did pay any attention to Rangers this weekend, you will have known that actually Ryan Kent did break his duck. I don't think he'd scored in something like 13-14 games for Rangers. He is back amongst the goals, or he was this season. 1 goal, 4 assists so far for him in 8 appearances. A great start to life this season. And of course, I do believe he is a Scouser as well, Ryan Kent, playing on that left-hand side. So playing against aside from his city. As we scroll further down, I'll get to Max's. I nearly said your real name then, Max. That was a first. We'll get to Max's comment in a second. But let's scroll down. I'm trying to find, there's the, if you want to watch it along at home with me, there it is, BT Sport and BT Sport Ultimate. But I'm trying to find the group and how that looks. There we are. So this is how the group is shaping up. Of course, Rangers have lost both of their opening 2 games. But if there was ever a time that Rangers were to come into this game and pick up some points, or pick up some points in this group in particular, you can say, they're the bit of the underdog. It would be tonight. There is no better time to face a Liverpool side at the moment. Like I mentioned and alluded to earlier on, they haven't lost, so they've not got that absolute we're going to thump someone ideology like they did with Bournemouth. And so it might well be, with the inconsistencies and the laziness of Trent Alexander-Arnold, that right-hand side might be vitally important, especially when you've got a tricky winger with the likes of Ryan Kent. This might be the best opportunity for Rangers to pick up a massive 3 points for their Champions League. Of course, if they get knocked out and they finish 4th, they will be knocked out of the Europa League as well. So whilst their goal at this early stage, we've only played 2 games, we've still got another 4 to go. Whilst their goal at this early stage is to keep themselves in the Champions League, with that in the back of their mind that they are the underdog, if they can get themselves a win tonight and put themselves in that battle as well for the 3rd place and the Europa League, that will definitely be in Rangers' mind as well. And it will be really, really interesting to see how this one comes out. But as you can see, that is how it's setting up. Tonight, the top 2 go against each other, so things will change at the top. Napoli have won all of their games so far. Ajax and Liverpool, same amount of points, just Liverpool with considerably worse goal difference. Mentioning this is their best opportunity to pick up some really, really big points tonight. Max says, Argyle 1-0 up, good to see. How are Town doing? I do believe they are playing tonight, but I don't think they've kicked off at the moment. But overall, not very well is the answer to that one, Max. I'm tempted to go in Tom's chat and go Sam greater than Tom. Nice. I didn't realise Tom was streaming it tonight. I did not realise he was streaming it tonight. Although that being said, he did banish me from his chat. It's already 1-1. Crikey. I should have come to that a bit earlier, shouldn't I? I should have come to that one a bit earlier. But let us know if you haven't already. Get your score predictions up for tonight. Let's see if Liverpool can get themselves back to winning ways and show a little bit of confidence. Trent Alexander-Arnold at the moment is making it very easy in that debate of Reece James, Kyle Walker, Kieran Trippier and Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's definitely at the moment singled himself out to say, yeah, no, I'm not in that debate anymore. I am not in that debate. The only reason Trent would be in this debate is how good he is going forward. But his goal contributions haven't been at that level at the moment. Haven't been at that level at the moment, which therefore Gareth Southgate's going to have an easy job if it carries on like this. Don't get me wrong, I don't expect Trent Alexander-Arnold to stay in this slump for very long. The players are about to walk out onto the pitch. A lot of the Rangers players wearing Under Armour for tonight. Didn't realise it was that cold. They are forgetting they're from Scotland, so it is much colder. James Tavernier, though, being the Brit he is, being the Englishman he is, of course he's not going to have them funny Under Armour sleeves on. It's only October. We can deal with it. I'm looking at you, Ryan Kent. I think he's got them on. What a wuss. But it looks like an electric atmosphere tonight with the Rangers fans getting very, very loud and waving their blue flags, trying to make Liverpool blue, but instead of for Everton, making it blue for Rangers. It's always a big night when it comes to Champions League football, and it's at Anfield. So many historic nights at this stadium, and a chorus of "You'll Never Walk Alone" always sings around loud at least twice a night. I know a lot of people tend to slander the Liverpool fans for going quite quiet in between "You'll Never Walk Alone." But it is no doubt going to be electric this evening. I wonder if that man, Mohamed Salah, can get himself on the score sheet. Town are winning. Oh, God. Some things you love to see, and that is one of them. Huddersfield Town. Legends. Sorba Thomas in 11 minutes. Go on, Sorbs. Good stuff, lad. Good stuff. Not been to see him yet this season, actually, with me moving back home, so I'll have to. Let's see how the Champions League have got this to line up then. So the Champions League have gone with that 4-2-3-1, which SofaScore had suggested and picked, with Diego Jota in behind Darwin Núñez. Again, we'll have to take that with a pinch of salt. Let's see how it sets up in person, and let's see how Liverpool set up with it. It might be a little bit more fluid. Potentially could be a 4-2-4 if Liverpool want to go and get some goals tonight. We don't often see all four of those big boys up front all play at the same time without Firmino dropping in to central midfield. It's an own goal. Oh, God. Sorba's got his goal taken away from him. But we are a few minutes away. The referee tonight is Clement Turpin, the French referee. Let's reset our timer, and we will almost be ready to rumble. If you haven't already, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us, and do hit subscribe as well if you do enjoy this channel and this stream. We are something like 25 subscribers away from 800. Had a great weekend this weekend. We will be trying to get ourselves back to regular uploads at least until the World Cup. World Cup might be a little bit difficult for me. Afternoon, Oliver. How are we doing, mate? How did you enjoy the? How did you enjoy? Did you enjoy the the game at the weekend? Because I most certainly did. That's all I'm going to say to you, Oliver. But great to have you in, mate. Hope you are doing well. Not sure what we are all gathering around the centre circle for here. Let's find out. In memory of the victims of the Kanjuruhan Stadium in Indonesia, there will be a minute's silence. Right, there we are. That is the minute silence done. And as Max says there was a lot of people who died in that tragedy, which did happen over the weekend, down to some poor policing in Indonesia, with the fans getting onto the pitch, being tear gassed, and something over 150 people have passed away, very tragically. So, of course, you know, our thoughts and feelings go out to all of those families that are involved in that, and you know, one of the worst, probably the worst event to have happened at a football ground. Really disappointing that this can still happen, but countries and their police have different ways of dealing with things, and no surprises really that most of the top guys in that have been let go. Deservedly so. 174 people, not good whatsoever. But that aside, that somber note aside, we have got ourselves underway here, and let's see who makes the brightest of starts. I heard a lot of talk actually from the pundits, Rio Ferdinand and Michael Owen on BT Sport tonight, talking about this first 10 minutes of football, particularly for Liverpool. It is vitally important. If Liverpool get themselves ahead, it might be business as usual tonight. But if Rangers can hold them for that first 10 minutes and they can potentially even get themselves a goal, get themselves into this game, it might fluster Liverpool. And with the form that they're in at the moment, a flustered Liverpool is definitely a beatable Liverpool. And that's what they'll be hoping for. That is definitely what they'll be hoping for. Just a weird thing, I've just obviously clocked John Lundstrom, formerly of Sheffield United, got relegated with Sheffield United, now playing Champions League football with Rangers. It's weird how the world works. The world works, isn't it? Very weird. Not much of a minute. No, I think I started a little bit late on that one, but that was because I needed to tell you what it was for. Didn't just want to do it. But Van Dijk just randomly pushes the Rangers player there. It's rolled down the line into Darwin Núñez. Let's see. He's going to be under the microscope tonight as well. Darwin Núñez, isn't he? After a mixed bag of a start. I remember in the Community Shield, a lot of people saying it's going to be Darwin Núñez over Erling Haaland, and how wrong could you be on that one? Haaland showing that actually, yeah, he is the best young player around at this current moment in time. Even Mbappe can't really say too much. Salah into Jota, and that's going to fall to Núñez. It's a good shot, good save from Alan McGregor. I tell you what, the old man still has a lot of life in him there. Very sharp and quick. Into Trent Alexander-Arnold, tries to whip it in, and there's a lot of life in that Anfield crowd tonight. A lot of life, and that's a really smart save from Alan McGregor to save from Darwin Núñez. Núñez maybe could have hit it in the corner a little bit better, but what a decent strike on it. Had to make it saved, and it'll be the first Liverpool corner of the night. Even into Wiki. Mbappe isn't the best player, he's the best owner. He most certainly is. I do think Mbappe is definitely going to be surpassed by quite a few players because of that attitude problem that we're seeing with him. The corner is eventually cleared by the Rangers defenders as Salah then hooks it back towards his defence and towards Konstantinos to Tsimikas. Luton have just equalised against Huddersfield Town. Obviously Luton, the team that Huddersfield Town did beat to get themselves to the playoff final. That's a lovely ball looking over the top there. Is that a foul on Mohamed Salah there? needs to be careful. Barisic, I think that was, does need to be careful. So, let's see how Liverpool set themselves up with this midfield. Let's see where Diogo Jota is going to rock and roll. Is he going to be right in behind the striker, playing almost a number 10, a traditional number 10 that we're used to? Or is he going to maybe join Darwin Núñez up front? We'll have to wait and see. We will have to wait and see. Here's Thiago, who's going to switch the ball out wide to Tsimikas. Virgil van Dijk. The ball in Liverpool's half, about halfway in Liverpool's half, into Trent Alexander-Arnold on the halfway line, back into Salah, into Henderson, who looks forward and over the top. That's a great ball from Jordan Henderson. Is that going to fall for anyone? Does fall for Luis Diaz. Diaz down the line to Tsimikas, and he's put it high, wide, and not at all handsome. I think he got himself caught in two minds just a little bit there, Konstantinos Tsimikas. He was... I don't think he quite had decided whether he was going to shoot or whether he was going to cross there, the Greek left back. And he didn't do either or, really. There was plenty of players. There was Jota, there was Darwin Núñez as well. Both of them in the area there if he had pulled out the right ball. But it wasn't quite the right ball from Konstantinos Tsimikas there. Rangers just need to get themselves on it. Early 5 minutes, dominated by Liverpool possession. We would expect that. Liverpool are an aggressor. They do like to pick up the ball early on. Home goal derby, is it, Luton? Nice. Nice, Max. Lovely stuff. Just what you wanted to see, eh? Just what you wanted to see. Here's Jordan Henderson, who's going to switch the play again. He's done a couple of those, looking to try and whip the ball out wide. Here's Tsimikas into the feet of Jota. Lovely play there by Liverpool. Is that a foul on Darwin Núñez as he went to drop the ball into Thiago? It most certainly is, and that was Davies. Ben Davies, the former Liverpool player, giving away a foul. I'm not sure he needs to make the foul there, if I'm brutally honest with you. You've got to get close to your man. There's not really too much point in committing, though, for the tackle. Don't get me wrong, you don't want Thiago to have the ball. But now you've got Thiago 10 yards further forward and Trent Alexander-Arnold 10 yards further forward. And with an opportunity to get a strike on goal here. Alan McGregor, formerly of Hull City, stands in goal. This is what I mean about the Champions League and having it's so strange that, like, in the Premier League, only if you play for, like, the top big four teams are you going to get in. But some players like John Lundstrom, who's a good player in his own right, but he's not world class, can go and play Champions League football at Rangers. Mental. Absolutely mental to me. They changed Luton's goal. It isn't anymore. Max. Stop telling me bad news. Alright? Just tell me Luton haven't scored. That's what I want to hear. Here we go then. About 25-30 yards from goal here. You've got Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold with his... are they dreadlocks? Is that what you call them? I'm not too sure. But they do stand over it. The Egyptian King and the Scouse Boy in Trent Alexander-Arnold. It is Trent! What a free kick from Trent Alexander-Arnold! There you are! That is what he can do! And he faces up to the fans and up to the crowd to say, here I am! Here I am in all of my glory! That is Trent at his very, very best! What a finish that is from Trent Alexander-Arnold. The Scouser, he breathes Liverpool, he bleeds Liverpool, and he gets Liverpool the opening goal tonight. What a strike, 7 minutes on the clock, and the perfect response to the hate that Trent has been getting for poor performances. What a free kick. We always know he has that in his locker, but my gosh, Trent Alexander-Arnold, take a bow. What a finish. What a finish. Oh my gosh. That is exquisite from Trent. Just what they needed. Just what Liverpool needed. Put it in the top corner. Easy as you like. Liverpool 1, Rangers 0. And that will get us nice and alive for this game. That will get us nice and alive and into this game. I tell you what, it is a beautiful free kick. One of the very best. One of the absolute best. I'm trying to find the score thing now to change it. There we are. Absolute best. What a strike that is, Trent Alexander-Arnold. What a strike. And that'll have definitely silenced a few people. I know you say you can't defend, but when you can finish like that, as long as you're making up for your mistakes, who really cares? It's a lovely finish from Trent Alexander-Arnold. And that is Liverpool 1, Rangers 0. Wasn't expecting a beautiful goal like that, I tell you what. Even though I know he's got it in his locker, I was not expecting a strike like that. And now Anfield is alive and ready for this following corner. Not the start Rangers will have wanted, though. Didn't really do too much wrong, but like I say, from Ben Davies there, it was a silly foul. It was silly. It was definitely not needed in that instant. It was definitely not needed. I don't know what Darwin Núñez is getting himself on with there. Might have just talked himself into the book here, Darwin Núñez, for being silly. I'm not quite sure what he was doing there. The corner's whipped in. The referee gives the foul on the edge of the box. Then what happens? Connor Goldson goes to take it quick. He stands in front of it. And then Connor Goldson tries to move him out the way. And Darwin Núñez won't move, even though he stood within that 5 yards. He's going to cause himself problems. He's going to cause himself problems if he carries on like that. I tell you what, especially in the Premier League, because Premier League refs take absolutely none of it. But Rangers need to get themselves knuckled down now. Don't let the occasion get the better of them, because it could be very easy for them to slip away from this one. Batman says Trent needs to convert to a centre mid role. Yeah, but where do you play him in centre mid? Where do you play a centre mid who can't defend, who struggles to defend and is a bit lazy? I don't know. I don't know. That is my question. Because if not, you're going to have to play him as a cam, and I definitely won't play him as a central attacking midfielder, Batman. Don't know about you. But what a finish. Inter Milan versus Barcelona, score predictions? I'm not actually too sure. I've not seen how Inter Milan are getting on this season. I've not seen. I do believe they lost to Roma the other day, though, so that might have sparked something in their tummies to get them going, actually. So that might be an interesting one to actually sit down and watch if anyone does have the chance and wants to split their attention between the two games. But by any stretch of the imagination, I don't believe this game is, number one, done for goals, but also done for competitiveness, as Darwin Núñez shoves, I think that was Ben Davies, off the ball there. Steven Gerrard wasn't the best midfielder in the defensive department. No, but Gerrard had the work rate. Trent doesn't have the work rate. Like, don't get me wrong, Gerrard wasn't bad in defence. He isn't as bad as Trent is in defence. I'd say he's probably like Thiago level defence. Thiago's best attribute, though, isn't his defence. And that's... Oh, this is a good feat by Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz! Oh, lovely feet on the edge of the box there by Diaz. And he looks for the worldie, looking for the top corner there, Diaz. And it's just gone over. But yeah, it's Stevie G. Personally, I think you've not given him too much credit there. I think he was a lot better defensively than what Trent Alexander-Arnold is now. And I think what made him a better player is you could guarantee there was going to be work rate with Stevie G. And so that is where it lies. And as well, you've got to remember, so if Gerrard wasn't doing the running and he wasn't, sitting back, he always had someone with him, whether it was Mascherano, Xabi Alonso, there'd always be someone. And obviously, when he was older, he was the one sitting, allowing the likes of Jordan Henderson to fill in that more energetic role. So I think there's definitely a spot on most teams for Trent. It's whether they can convert him back to a midfielder and get it to work for him, because it's going to be a lot of money as well to try getting someone who's at the level Trent has been over, maybe not last season, but the 2 seasons before, in that right back slot. And that is almost part of the problem. Are you going to be able to get maybe one of the young lads coming through to fit in there? Who knows? Who knows? It is 1-0 to Ajax in the other game, though. Kudus has scored within 10 minutes, which is interesting. So that does put them level on points with Napoli at the top, and Liverpool also level on points with Napoli as well. Of course, Liverpool with that inferior goal difference. Bit of a wayward pass there. nearly gives the ball back to Rangers. Jordan Henderson now picks up the ball and turns. Gives the ball away again now. I got really distracted by a message there because it just didn't make sense. Just didn't make sense, whatever it was that was popping up really confused me. But anyway, here comes a throw in down the line, whipped in by Darwin Núñez there. He did well to keep that one in, but easily into the hands of McGregor. I tell you what, it is weird. Who would have thought when he left Hull City, Mr. McGregor, that he'd be playing Champions League football at Anfield with Rangers? A very consistent performer, Who do you think should take who should be England's free kick taker? Now that is difficult. It depends who you start, because it's not going to be Kane. It definitely shouldn't be Sterling. It's not going to be Saka, as Alisson takes a bit of a risk there. Nearly gives the ball away. It's flicked around the corner though by Darwin Núñez. Good touch from him there. Into the path of Mohamed Salah. Salah bursting down this right hand side. Cuts in on his left foot. Bends it! Oh! Oh, I don't know how that went that direction. Did it take a deflection off a defender on the way through? I'm not too sure, but somehow it manages to squeeze its way. It does take a slight deflection. It's a good save, actually, from Alan McGregor, just to tip that one round. I think it's creeping in to the bottom corner. Maddison, but he won't be in the team. Yeah, that's the question. It's who's in the starting team. And probably, you know, the way that Gareth Southgate likes to set up, probably Trippier will be it. I think it's either going to be Trippier or James, because I wouldn't have any of the midfielders. I wouldn't trust Bellingham on one. Wouldn't trust Phillips or Rice on one. Saka isn't a free kick taker. Harry Kane definitely isn't. Sterling's taken a couple in his career, but he's not that level, the same as Trippier, the same as a James Ward-Prowse, or even a Reece James, to be fair. So maybe if Mason Mount was on, you'd give it Mason Mount, just because he is a bit more consistent. He scored free kicks in the past, but again, I'm not sure Mason Mount will be starting in an England team. That's where Trent Alexander-Arnold would be very useful. Just depends on how many free kicks we do get. You can see, like you can see tonight, he can score free kicks when the opportunity arises and someone gives him the chance to take one. That was delicious. That was top corner. If TAA carries on scoring free kicks, James Ward-Prowse won't be in the England squad. I can see that. Where do you play James Ward-Prowse in the England squad? That is the huge question. As particularly if you're going to play two across midfield, I would prefer to play Rice and Bellingham than having Ward-Prowse in there alongside Rice. It's good for me. It's going to be Rice, Bellingham. If we're playing five at the back, if we're playing four at the back, and you know, three across midfield, then we can maybe start to find room for James Ward-Prowse, and that might be where he can sort of fit in that third central midfield role. But if Trent carries on scoring like this, I doubt he'll even risk it and take it. You might as well take Trent. If you're going to play five at the back, you might as well take him, because he would work perfectly in a wing-back, or better in a wing-back role than he would as a traditional full-back that Jurgen Klopp likes to play him in tonight, as Tavernier looks to clip that one down the line there, and easily gathered and sent back to Alisson there from Virgil van Dijk. Let's have a look. Bench player for extra time and penalties potentially. Thoughts on the Singapore GP? It was a bit of a weird one, wasn't it, Max? That's good feet though from Ryan Kent on the edge of the box. Sorry, I'll get to that in a sec, Max. Trent Alexander-Arnold gives away a silly free kick on the edge of the box. Good feet from the Englishman Ryan Kent, the number 14. Lovely turn to take that one away from Jordan Henderson, and then he just burst past Trent Alexander-Arnold. Not sure there was too much in it, but it was definitely contact and enough to send Ryan Kent down. Yeah, the Singapore GP was weird. It was very, very strange. Hard to put your finger on, I think is the best way to say it. Hard to put your finger on. You saw a lot of high-profile mistakes from the likes of Verstappen and Lewis. And then a lot of crashes, a lot of people going out. George Russell had the weirdest race he'll ever have in his life. Poor strategy from Mercedes, doing their best Ferrari impression. All over the place, but great to see Daniel Ricciardo in 5th. Come on, Danny Rick. Come on, Danny Rick. Gotta love him. Here is a free kick then for Rangers. at the edge of the box. Can Tavernier silence those Liverpool fans and silence Trent Alexander-Arnold? Is he going to be able to prove himself that he should be a set piece taker when it comes to England's chances for the World Cup? Who knows? Let's see who it is. It is James Tavernier, and that's straight into the wall, and that has wrote him out with that. And the follow-up from Ryan Kent is blazed high, wide, and not at all handsome, but less about me. Let's move on. Can you explain what happened to Max Verstappen? What, this weekend? What didn't happen to Max Verstappen? So, off the line, Max Verstappen, what did he do? Off the line, he just bogged down. His reaction time was slow. He messed up somehow off the line, which saw him drop down to like 15th, which was obviously not what he wanted from 7th. Managed to build himself back up again. There was a few safety cars. One of the safety cars which really impacted Max's race was the fact that Yuki Tsunoda crashed a lap and a half after Max had pitted. So all of the people in front of them got a quicker or a free penalty. A free pit stop. There we are, I got the correct word. Which really affected him. And then he had a lock-up going into, turn 7. He had a lock-up as well, so he drove straight off and dropped a load of places because of that, and then had to fight all the way back through again. And then there was just so many mistakes. It was very unlike Max, very unlike Lewis as well, because Lewis made a lunge down the inside of Sebastian Vettel as well. So really strange race this weekend, but Max ended up finishing, 7th or 6th? Still did really well considering the number of points that were dropped. Raspadori, the Napoli central attacking midfielder, has just got himself a goal. So it is 1-1 between Ajax and Napoli in that game. Let me update the bottom for us. Let me update the bottom if anyone sees an update of the Frankfurt score as well versus Spurs. That would be greatly appreciated, even though as a Chelsea fan, like to see how the I was going to say the other half, but we're not really dating Spurs, are we? The other side of London get on. Be interesting. Joel Matip spreads one out wide to Mohamed Salah. Down the line that time by Jordan Henderson into the channel. Runs Darwin Núñez, being marked by Ben Davies. Here is Salah, who looks for a reverse pass, looking for Jordan Henderson. It is intercepted by Lundstrom, and Rangers play their way out nicely at the moment, but that's given away there from James Tavernier. Simicast looks for the feet of, I think that was Darwin Núñez wandering in, and somehow squeezes it way to Alan McGregor. His petrol miscommunication. Oh yeah, that happened in qualification. That did. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, the reason he qualified in 7th was because he went out for like 6 straight laps in qualifying because it was wet. So it was drying off. The track was drying off. Track was drying off more and more each lap. So people were setting fastest lap after fastest lap because the track was becoming drier. And so Max was doing the same. He was 2.5 seconds up on Charles Leclerc's pole sitting time, and then Christian Horner and Red Bull called him in because they realised he wouldn't have enough fuel to take a fuel sample if he were to go round and do another lap, and so they had to pull him in and not risk taking a penalty for potentially not being able to give enough fuel. That's how much. How many shots on target do Liverpool have? I think it's 1. Maybe 2. It must be 2. Oh, Stevie G derby tonight, isn't it? Stevie G on our screens tonight. He'll be a little bit of a mixed bag for him tonight. Not know quite who to support. I assume he's supporting. I assume he is supporting Liverpool for tonight, though. Shots on target for Liverpool. There is 3 so far. I'm just trying to think of who they were. One of those did come from Darwin Núñez quite early on, and of course the goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold. Can't remember the third one off the top of my head though. Thiago, I know they said Thiago Silva there. Luis Diaz. Did he finish above Lewis Hamilton? He did, because Hamilton sent a lunge down the inside of Vettel, and he locked up himself, and he lost the place to Max by doing so. Henderson into Mohamed Salah. Salah goes out wide to Trent. Trent's going to drive one into the box there. It's a good block by Barisic, and it goes out for a Liverpool throw-in. The Liverpool fans They just get lively every time Liverpool do something that's just a little bit less straightforward, and they actually try something fun and fast and moving it alongside. Wasn't it Salah? It might have been Salah. I can't remember. Yes, it might have been, actually. You might be right. It will be Salah, because McGregor made the save, didn't he? Passes completed so far. We've got 152 for Liverpool to the 59 of Rangers, which shows you the dominance. Already nearly a third of the amount of passes for Rangers in comparison to Liverpool. Go Liverpool, says Collins. Great to see you and great to have you back in, mate. Lovely stuff. If you haven't already, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us. Do hit subscribe if you are new. And you can always unsubscribe at any time. We do have a video dropping this week as well, so even more of a reason as well to turn that notifications bell on and hit a reminder for a bit of a tier list. F1 related tier list coming at you later in the week. But that is Joel Matip rolling a nice ball out wide to Darwin Núñez, who's gone out onto that right hand side. This front four looks very interchangeable, particularly the two more central players of where they're going to be running tonight, moving around and causing Rangers defenders a problem. Very difficult to keep track of attackers when they're moving so interchangeably as they are doing right now, as Liverpool's front four, I will say, are. That being said, it does look like Jota is slightly further back than Darwin Núñez. Núñez acting more as a target man. I thought you said you were going to change to SRL Sport. Well, I was, and that was the intention, and it still might be the intention, but with my TikTok doing quite well under my own name, I didn't want to confuse it more. Obviously, my Instagram has to be a different name because I'm not uploading to my personal Instagram, if you know what I mean. So it has to be a different name of sorts, and it works well for that one. And it almost works as a separate entity. So I was going to change it, but I've not had a chance yet. Last time I watched F1 was when Nico Rosberg won the title. Yeah, to be fair, up until this season, Batman, I haven't watched it since Lewis Hamilton won his first, to be fair. Maybe a little bit after that. Maybe I'm over-exaggerating. Maybe Seb's first, but I've not really watched it. I've got myself back into it this year because when I was at work, there was a few people who at my last place liked F1, so it was something to talk about. That's a good ball down the line to Núñez, who tries to pull the ball back, and that's easily cleared by, I believe that was the former Sheffield United player, John Lundstrom, making a late run back, I do believe. Good defensive awareness there, really good defensive awareness. But it is another Liverpool corner. The pressure mountains on for Rangers. Mountains? Mounts, even. How did I say that wrong? I love saying mounts. Here is I nearly said Ruben Diaz there. God, I'm having a wobbly 5 minutes, aren't I? Ruben Diaz, Louis Diaz, they're all the same. They're all the same, aren't they? Just call them all Diaz. Don't know why I needed to go for the first name. Just making it more confusing. There's another Liverpool corner there with Connor Goldson. Headers behind for Rangers for another corner ball. It is Trent with another set piece once again. Right in front of those Rangers fans. Here it is from Trent, whipped in towards the middle, it's flicked on, and oh my gosh, that was close. That was very, very close. I think it was Jota arriving at the back post. It was initially whipped in towards Virgil van Dijk. He's maybe an inch away. If he jumps an inch higher, he might get a better connection on that, or even just doesn't jump. And I think it goes through to Jota. He's right in the middle there, right in the middle, and doesn't fall to him either way. Doesn't it fall to him either way? Football and rugby are currently the only sports I watch. I sort of dip into some of the big ones, I do, depending on when they run. I like watching Wimbledon, but I won't watch much tennis elsewhere. I don't really watch too much rugby. I've never really got rugby. I don't really understand the game. We need more goals from Liverpool, says Collins. It looks like it at the moment. But to be fair, there's not really anything to suggest that Rangers are going to be scoring anytime soon. There's not too much to suggest that, which, you know, might be music to the ears of Liverpool fans. Are you a Liverpool fan, Collins? I'll be back in like 20 minutes, but less. Back in like 20 minutes, but less. So as in like 19 minutes. That's 20 minutes, but less. Is that what you're meaning, Max? Tavernier tries to go down the line there, looking for Ryan Kent. The ball's been given straight back to Liverpool again. Good feet by Joel Matip, of all people. He's got good feet for a big lad. Rolled back to Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's going to... that sounds really strange out of context. Sorry, I just distracted myself with that. That sounded really weird. Joel Matip's OnlyFans. He's got good feet for a big lad. Moving on. Rangers play it into down the line there, and is that going to take a deflection off? It is. Good play from Lundstrom there. Rolls the ball off Konstantinos Tsimikas, and that is out of play for a Rangers corner. That'll take away just a little bit of the pressure that they were filling there. Good play by Tillman as well, number 71 on that right-hand side to roll it into Lundstrom. Not a bad start, but it's a shame that goal's gone in for Rangers, because that really will have taken the wind out of their sails. That really will have done. I'm just double checking I know everyone's name on the Rangers team. Yes. They've got a very, I'm not going to say strange team, but in terms of like age, they've got like Stephen Davis, who's 37, and Alan McGregor, who's 40. And they've just got like two really old players. And I don't know, it just seemed really weird. Here's Darwin Núñez up that left-hand side, cleared there by Connor Goldson. A hell of a clearance. It's gone all the way up to Virgil van Dijk. It's brought down, though, by Tsimikas into Núñez. And that is a god-awful pass from Núñez, as Ryan Kent and Lundstrom, between the two of them, able to sweep that one up. That was a god-awful pass from Darwin Núñez there. No, I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'm supporting Liverpool for this match. Fair enough, fair enough. I always tend to try and support the Liverpool, the English teams. It's a little bit different when it's a London team, but I don't mind supporting the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City and Man United when they're in the Champions League. I think it's always good to see the English sides get further along in the Champions League. So I can back that, Collins. I can back that. Here is Trent, who's going to clip one forward, looking to Mohamed Salah. And of course, as well, it's good for English football, isn't it? When these teams get in, it inadvertently helps our teams and the lower teams and the smaller teams. It takes a long time for it to help, but it does eventually help. There might be an opportunity to counter-attack here for Rangers. That's a solid ball from the outside of the boot of Ryan Kent there, and a little bit too solid, and it's gone out of play for a Liverpool goal kick. If Trent Alexander-Arnold wins man of the match, Southgate should hang his head in shame for not playing him in the England starting 11. Yes and no. The problem is it's the defensive side, isn't it? If we're going to play a 5 at the back, though, I don't know why we don't play Trent in that wing-back role, because I cannot see a problem with playing Trent in that wing-back role. If you've got Kyle Walker or Reece James playing at that right centre-back role, which he likes to do, he likes to play another full-back at that, right centre-back role, why not play Trent there? Why not? He's the best on the ball. It suits him perfectly. And then you've got a free kick asset as well. Free kick, set piece, asset sorted. I'd love to see it. I would love to see it. A defence of, I don't know, Tamori Stones, Kyle Walker, Trent and Ben Chilwell. Play that, and that for me I think that would work. But I also don't want to see two in midfield anymore. I want to see some more creativity further forward. Harry Kane's not creative enough. He doesn't have the players around him to be creative enough, and it causes problems once again. Here's Thiago into Mohamed Salah, flick forward, looking for Luis Diaz, that was, who'd come across to the right-hand side. Like I mentioned earlier, all the players being able to move around freely up front in that top four of Liverpool. It almost is a bit of a 4-2-4 when they're in attack. Napoli have just scored again, so it is 2-1 to Napoli. So Napoli return to the top with a decent gulf of points, 3 points above Liverpool now at the top of the table as things stand. Trent takes the throw in, rolls it into Luis Diaz. Here is Jordan Henderson, who's going to try and spread the play to Konstantinos Tsimikas. Back to Virgil van Dijk. Jordan Henderson. Here is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Back into Luis Diaz once again. Back into Trent. Thiago. Has he got the pass to unlock this Rangers defence? Not quite. He has to go back to Virgil van Dijk. Goes out onto the left-hand side. Here's Konstantinos Tsimikas again. I don't know why I keep saying his full name because I'm struggling to pronounce it, but we carry on. England should hire Thomas Tuchel after the World Cup. That would not be a bad shout whatsoever. I'll get onto that in a second. If Liverpool give the ball away, it's got back to Jordan Henderson, who's clipped it forward. What a ball! Darwin Núñez! Oh, what a save that is by Alan McGregor. What a save that is. What a ball from Jordan Henderson. Núñez should do better, but Alan McGregor, take a bow, my son. What a save that is. One-on-one with Darwin Núñez, and it's a great save. It is a fantastic save from the Scottish international. What a save that is, and what a ball. Jordan Henderson. That was the pass I was looking for from Thiago, to be fair, and it's come from Jordan Henderson. Didn't Southgate say he didn't want to overstay his welcome? He did, yeah. But Thomas Tuchel, I cannot see why an international side wouldn't have gone for him as soon as he became available. He, in his first season and a half of being Chelsea manager, which, well, half a season and then a season, he made every final of every tournament that he competed in. Why would you not go for him? He clearly knows how to set up a side for tournaments. He can utilise them well. Surprised no one's gone for him. Germany, why not go for him? He's used to Kai Havertz. He's used to Timo Werner. I'm sure Werner wouldn't be very pleased though, to be fair. Here is Luis Diaz, cuts in off that left foot. Is he going to shape to shoot? Diaz! Good save again from Alan McGregor. Another good save, but that was far too easy from Rangers, just letting Luis Diaz walk in. It was a walk in the park there for Luis Diaz. I'm not sure what Stephen Davis and what are they doing? I nearly said Marcus Tavernier there, James Tavernier. I'm not sure what they were doing or what they were thinking. They both marked the same player. They both marked the overlap. He cut in, and it's a good save by Alan McGregor. Just watching that good save as well from the shot from Darwin Núñez. A fantastic save there. No international team want to risk firing their manager before the World Cup. Yeah, not unless you're in a real dire state. Speaking of dire states, maybe Eric should be getting in the team. Chelsea versus Milan tomorrow. Fikayo Tomori returns to the bridge. Intrigued to see how that one plays out. Although, unfortunately for me, I am busy tomorrow night. Although, not really, unfortunately, because I'm playing football, so I'm not really that bothered. Good ball by Tavernier into Stephen Davis. Good, spread out wide there. Here is Barisic. Is this going to be their opportunity to get the ball forward? We've not seen Rangers really collect and move any players forward at this current moment in time. They've not had the opportunity to. Goldson. Good ball. Barisic. Lundstrom. Comes back again. This is the problem. Liverpool, they just get players out to them all the time. It almost looks like in defence it's a 4-5-1 for Liverpool. Maybe this is Jurgen Klopp trying to counteract how open they looked at times at when they played Brighton this weekend. That's a good ball down the line though to Ryan Kent, who's trying to play for the corner there. Jordan Henderson does incredibly well not to give him that corner. But maybe this is part of what Jurgen Klopp's going to try now. In defence, are we going to see Liverpool in a 4-5-1 a bit more frequently? We're so used to seeing Van Dijk and co mop up at the back and almost Van Dijk be a one-man army. Obviously Van Dijk isn't in his most sensational form this season. Maybe he needs the extra coverage, especially with Trent going walkabouts most of the time. John Lundstrom just picks himself up a yellow card there for a foul. If you haven't already, guys, do be sure to smash that like button for us. We've got a goal of 15 likes on this stream, as always. So if you haven't already, do be sure to do that for us. That would be absolutely fantastic. Only if you're enjoying, of course. If you're not enjoying, there is a dislike button. You can let me know how you feel. But if you do dislike it, let me know why you dislike it. What can I change? That'd be absolutely fantastic. Always here to create content for you guys. Want to make it as enjoyable as possible. And of course, as well, if you do like me and you want to see a little bit more of me in short form content, do be sure to. If you've got TikTok, go over to TikTok or Instagram and check me out. On Instagram, I am SRL Sport. And on, you can type in Sam Redgate-Large. I'll come up with that as well. And on TikTok, I am Sam Redgate-Large, as always. I mean, I'm always Sam Redgate-Large, but my name is different on different ones. That's a lovely ball down the line to Mo Salah, who's going to try and pull that one in. And evening to AFCB Fan TV. Haven't seen you in a while here. Thank you for joining back once again. He's going to win with 3-1 to Liverpool. I might have backed that at the beginning, you know. I don't think I gave a score prediction. I'll go with Max's. Max's was 2-1. So we'll go with Max's score prediction, as I forgot to give mine. Trent Alexander-Arnold tries to whip that one in that time as the corner comes back to him. Tsimikas all the way back to Alisson. Been pretty easy for the Liverpool defenders so far to sweep up. Nunez drops into that left-hand side. Jordan Henderson still looks fantastic on the ball, as always. And then his football skills aren't too bad either. Salah into Diaz. Good turn by Diaz. Tries to return it to Salah. Jordan Henderson finds the ball. It goes into Darwin Nunez, who's going to try and go to the byline there. And that cross might have just taken a deflection, but it is too high and goes all the way out of play, out the other side for Liverpool. Everton, the BT Sport game this weekend is Everton versus Manchester United on Sunday night. What is going on with these timings at the minute? It's really strange, isn't it, with this build up to the World Cup. That's the word. Let us know, ladies and gents, as well as you sat at home pondering life, pondering why you're sat watching me. Let us know who you think is going to be the World Cup winners for this year. Salah darts in, rolls it into Darwin Nunez. Is that his goal? No! Another fantastic save. He can't do anything right here, can he, Darwin Nunez? Alan McGregor is going to empty his pockets later and see his keys, his wallet, his phone, and Darwin Nunez, because that's another great save by the Scottish legend of the game, and it's a fantastic save to keep this at 1-0. It's going to be whipped in. Is that going to find its way through? No, not this time, and that goes out of play for a Rangers goal kick. Unbelievable saves from Alan McGregor at the moment. He's stepping up. If it wasn't thanks to Alan McGregor, it would be about 4, maybe 5-0 to Rangers. To Liverpool at this moment. God, get him off if it was to Rangers. It would honestly be such a different scoreline if Alan McGregor wasn't in goal right now. He is keeping them in the game, and he needs to get his teammates up in their tempo, because otherwise it's going to be a long, hard night for him. I'll tell you that now. It'll be a long, hard night for him. Matip, Van Dijk. Really, first half dominated by Liverpool so far. Of course, if you are just joining us, the opening goal has come from a absolutely stunning free kick from Trent Alexander-Arnold, who's whipped it in to the top left-hand corner, the keeper's top right, and that was inside 10 minutes, and that's really set the tone of how this game has been so far. Dominated by Liverpool. Rangers yet to really have that clear-cut opportunity, but when it comes, if it falls to the right man, I would not be surprised to see them take it. As Luis Diaz tries to break forward with that one. Has he won himself a throw in there? Connor Goldson is adamant that should be a throw-in for Rangers, but I think the referee's given it the other way at this current moment in time. I do believe he's given it the other way. God, there's been 2 goals in the Porto versus Bayer Leverkusen game, and both of them have been ruled out by VAR. God, sometimes it's just better just to leave it, eh? Lovely flick, Luis Diaz into Jota. Here goes Darwin Núñez. Is this his opportunity? No, it's not. It's another fantastic save by Alan McGregor. Again, not in the corners, though, from Darwin Núñez. Not in the corners. It's like McGregor's having a good game, but Darwin Núñez is not making it hard for him. Straight down the middle once again, and it's a sharp save. Don't get me wrong. He does well to get himself down there that quickly, but it is kind of frustrating if you're a Liverpool fan right now. Good stuff, Max. Back in time for the half-time game. Salah, good feet, drops it into Jota. Back to Thiago. No. Always going to put that one over there, Thiago. Just didn't quite shape up for it there. Didn't quite shape up for it right. Didn't get his knee over the ball. Let's watch that strike from Darwin Núñez again. It's another fantastic save. But like I say, straight down the middle. It's comfortable. It's a bit of a dodgy height for McGregor, but it's a comfortable sort of position. If needs be, he could have just stuck his knee out. So it's a very comfortable position for McGregor. And Darwin Núñez, that's my criticism of him so far. His movement's been good. He's looked all right on the ball. A couple of sloppy passes, but he's looked all right on the ball. But he's finishing. He's not put it in the corners. Rule number 1 of being a striker: aim for the corners. Make sure you hit the target and you aim for the corners. And at the minute, he's just blasting them down the middle. And McGregor has an answer for that every time. That's another fantastic ball by Jordan Henderson. What a ball. Here goes Luis Diaz. Chops in onto his right foot. Back into Jota. It's the feet of, oh my God, Darwin Núñez. And that's gone out of play for a goal kick. I don't know how he's done that. It's another fantastic, Jordan Henderson. I don't know what he's on tonight, but some of his passes has been delightful. Exquisite, in fact. It was a lovely ball. Luis Diaz, good running, and rolls it down the line to Jota. Jota looks to pull it back. Núñez tries a flick, and the referees deem that one a goal kick as well, as Inter Milan have taken the lead against Barcelona as well. Let's see how Spurs are getting on, in case if I have missed that one. Let's have a look. That is half-time, ladies and gents. That is half-time here at Anfield. So it remains Liverpool 1, Rangers 0 at half-time. Trent Alexander-Arnold with the only goal. Let's see. Have I still got it loaded up? We might as well do it on here. If I do have it still loaded up on here. Yes, I most certainly do. Let's see. Let's swap over to the different screens and let's have a look at some of the information going on. Let's have a look at a few of the match ratings, and I've just seen who is man of the match so far, and I'm going to say this is so bloody deserved. Alan McGregor is absolutely killing it tonight. He's played fantastic so far. Darwin Núñez, who? I don't know, but that's all I wanted to look at from that one. That is all I wanted to look at. But as you can see here are the halftime scores on the screen for you. A couple of shocks coming in at the moment. So, as I mentioned, Napoli 3, Ajax 1 in this group, which does mean that Napoli will be continuing to keep their lead at 3 points and will be unbeaten in the group so far. 3-1 against Ajax is overwhelmingly convincing at this moment in time. Ajax will be looking to improve that in the second half. Then you've got Rangers versus Liverpool, of course, the game which we have featuring tonight, and we all know that Trent Alexander-Arnold has scored a worldie. Then going on to Group B, where we've got a little bit of a shake-up here, with Club Brugge currently leading at half-time against Atletico Madrid. I'm intrigued to see how Atletico don't say Madrid, that's Real. But I'm intrigued to see how Atletico do get on tonight. I did notice There was just something that wasn't quite sitting right with me the other day when I looked at Atletico, and I can't remember for the life of me what it was now, but something wasn't sitting right with me when I was like looking at their season so far. Just something wasn't quite sitting right, and I don't know what it is. They're currently in 5th. They've lost 2 games already, being Villarreal and Real Madrid. But what was it? I cannot remember for the life of me what it was, actually. Oh, probably the fact that Morata is still leading the line for them. Oh, and I remember as well, I can't believe Marcus Llorente is 27. I feel like he was 22 and now all of a sudden he's 27 within the space of about 6 months. I don't know how he's managed that. Clearly I've just been ignorant to him. Moving on, we've got Porto versus Bayer Leverkusen. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Porto and Bayer Leverkusen, both of them have had a... Yes, we will be doing a halftime game, Max. Both of them have had a goal disallowed thanks to VAR. So whilst on paper it looks like a crap match, it is going swimmingly if you are a neutral fan to be watching that one. A little bit of drama as well with those goals being disallowed. Then we have Bayern Munich, who have already finished their game tonight. Absolutely battered Victoria Plzen 5-0, as you would expect. Business as usual for Bayern Munich. Really just get yourself over the line here. They've got a bit of a group of death, like this group is tonight for Rangers. They've got a bit of a group of death, haven't they? Bayern Munich. But in the other game, Inter Milan have scored against Barcelona. Let me just check as well who the goal scorer is in that for... no, we'll continue with the browser, please. We'll see who the goal scorer is in this. I'm assuming it's Calhanoglu. It is. Most certainly is Calhanoglu. Let's have a look how their table is lining up as well, because this is going to be the group to watch, I think. So as you can see, Bayern Munich on top with 9 points, yet to lose a game. But that does mean tonight that Barcelona's unbeaten run, they've lost to Bayern, but they won't be in second. That's what I was meaning to say, but I don't know how I said that. But they won't be in second. So all to play for in that group. We'll scroll down and let's have a look at the worst half of London. I say half, the worst section of London. Spurs, Olympique de Marseille, if I can read it correctly, did win 4-1 against Sporting, so not a good night for Sporting Lisbon. And then you've got Eintracht Frankfurt and Tottenham Hotspur currently at 0-0. Let's just have a quick look as well. For Max's sake, let's see how they are getting on in terms of stats and such. Who are they playing tonight? That's a strong side. Oh my god, I'm just going to have to scroll down. It's going to take me forever if not. Dominating possession, dominating shots, but yet to have a shot on target. So that'll really be where they're going to fall foul at the moment. I'll just switch over back to this screen and then we'll get a halftime game loaded up. Let me turn the background noise off. We don't want that. Let's get a halftime game loaded up. And then we can get things underway. Always good to turn your screen off, just in case if you have been Googling strange things. That's a tip for life. Even if you haven't been, you never know what might appear. Right, here we go. Let's swap back. To the intermission screen. Here we are, ladies and gents. Did I turn the timer off, by the way? Yes, I did. Yep. I did. Let's reset that as well whilst we're on it. So you can see on your screens right now, we do have the first player in Guess the Player. If you don't know how this game works, you've got to guess the player based on their career path. Pretty simple. Yep, let's go. Perfect timing from Max as well to come back for this one. Do shout out nice and loud if you do know who the player is. So let's have a look. This player played for Osasuna, played for Olympique de Marseille, now has played 324 times for Chelsea, got a hell of a long name, and I'm assuming that is a Spanish international as well. I can't quite zoom out further enough Let me just control minus. Is that going to tell me? Nope, that one's not going to tell me. There you are. And has played for Spain 36 times, only since he's played for Chelsea. So those are your clues. Let us know what you think it is. And Max is going with Aspilicueta. Yeah, look at the length of that name. It's got to be Aspilicueta. Oh, I held down the A. Aspil. How did you spell it, Max? Coita. Good stuff. Good that Max knows how to spell it, because otherwise I would be having a few problems. Right. Next one. Here we go. Tottenham player who's also played for Arsenal. Ooh, interesting. Right, let's have a look. Oh, that's a youth career. That is a long-ass youth career. From 2001 to 2000. Why have you got that much information on him? That is a lot of information. To be fair, I feel like that clue would have given it away. But played for Arsenal in his youth career, played for Watford, played for Tottenham. Has had a loan. This is a German website, in case if you are wondering. Has had a loan to Leyton Orient. Plays for Spurs. Has scored 184 games for Spurs. No, you didn't spell it right. You didn't spell it right, Max. There's a C instead of a Q. But I just corrected it for you automatically. There's not a Q in Aspilicueta. But yes, it is Harry Kane, the England captain. You can tell by the amount of goals that have been scored left, right and centre there. I'm not sure there are many Spurs players who've scored more goals than Mr. Kane. Mr. Harold. I'm not sure. There's only maybe 2 players as well who've scored more in an England shirt than Harry Kane. This should be another easy one. I'm not even going to go down to the nationality. If you can't guess the nationality and the player from this one, even from like the first 2 teams, I am going to be massively disappointed in this one for you. Let's see if you can get it though. It's going to be massively disappointing if not, and I might disown you from the channel. Oh, nearly, Max. You are close. But I need to hear you say it. I do need to hear you say it, Max. I do need to hear you say it. If you don't come out with it, those are Christopher Ronaldo. Suey. It is most certainly Cristiano Ronaldo. We've had a few high-profile names here, haven't we? Don't usually get so many of these. Just as I've said that. Here you are. Here's a difficult one. If you can get this one, Max, I would be very surprised, because I'm trying to work out how old you are, Max, and I don't think much of your life coincides with this timeline. If I can't remember it, I feel like there's not too much chance in you remembering it, considering I'm born in 1999. But who knows? It's never this easy. I know, Max, we both said that, and now look. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Celtic, Glasgow. I don't know why they put it that. It's English. Ooh, it's English. Apologies. They're English. Actually, no inclusivity. It's English. Wolverhampton Wanderers, Celtic, Glasgow, Cardiff City, Accrington Stanley. Not a chance. No, me neither. Let's do one of these jokers. Do we want first name, picture, or a letter? Maximiliano, what do we want? I feel like first name might be the best one to go for. It might give us a nice clue. We'll go for it. Lee. Right. The Vorname ist Lee. Die Vorname ist Lee. Heißt Lee. Joker, picture. We're going picture. We'll go picture. I have no clue. Lee is such a... Lee, I can't even think of anyone. Oh, I know who this is, I think. I'm gonna feel so stupid if that's not who I think it is. I think I know who that is. I feel like Max, you might not get this one. No, it's not who I think it is. Played for... What? His name's Lee. He looks like this. I was thinking Lee Bowyer. That's who I was thinking of. But now I'm stumped. We're going to go letter. That didn't help. We're going to go letter. No, we're going to go letter. We're going to go letter. They're not going to give me any more. Are you joking me? Are you? Max, I think we give it. Yeah, I thought it was going to be Lee Bowyer, but it's not. I think we give in. I think we just have to go round and type in every letter. I don't know why the first letter I went for was Q, as if it was going to be Quayor or something like that. Let's have a look. Let's see if we'll do the vowels first. Y is technically a vowel, or it is in America anyway. Oh my god. I am never getting this. N. There must be a vowel there. Yep, I was never getting that. There was no chance. At least we don't know it together, yeah. There was no chance of me getting that. I have no clue who Lee Naylor is. He might as well have just lived down the pub. I know who this one is, but who do you think it is? Max, a Spurs player who's an England international, spent their youth career at Sporting Lisbon and then had a loan to Everton, still in their youth career. Then had a breakthrough season at Sporting Lisbon before moving to Tottenham Hotspur. You should be able to get this one as a Spurs fan. Even I know who this is. What English footballer is fluent in Portuguese? The Toilet Man. Eric Dyer. It most certainly is. Eric Dyer. Oh, I typed in E. There you are. Look at his... Why does that man shave his head? Look at that hairline. Like, that is a good hairline. Like, you know that's going to be a good hairline. Why does he do that? Why does he do that? As someone who is guaranteed to go bald, because my dad is bald, why does he do that? That is so disrespectful to the people who struggle to grow hair. But there we are. Oh God. Oh, that doesn't look good, the back of my head, does it? No. But anyway, we are a few moments away before I expose myself for being bald. We are a few moments away from getting ourselves underway in this second half. Do be sure to get your score predictions in for the second half. Let us know what you're thinking. Are Rangers going to get a fantastic comeback and turn their luck and their spirits around? Or are we going to see Liverpool walk home with this one in the second half? The football resumes at Anfield here tonight. The French referee gets us underway. And we are underway here at Anfield for the second half. Max is sticking to his original 2-1. I think I'm going to back you on that, Max. I said whilst you were gone because I forgot to do my score prediction that I'll follow up with your score prediction whilst you weren't here. So I might as well stick with the 2-1. I quite fancy that one, but I just don't know where that goal is going to come from a Rangers perspective. They need to up it. They need to up their attacking outlets at the moment. It's not been the greatest show of what this Rangers side can do by any stretch of the imagination in terms of an attacking outlet. Alan McGregor, no, I said Conor McGregor there. Conor McGregor, he's definitely fighting, isn't he, McGregor? He knows how to take a man down, and Darwin Núñez is fighting hard against McGregor, but McGregor's coming out on top, as McGregors always do. Just one goal in it between Liverpool and Rangers. That goal coming early on from Trent Alexander-Arnold. A worldie of a free kick into that top bin, as the kids say. Right into the top bins. Liverpool attacking the Kop in the second half. So who knows, maybe that will be what they need. It's always intriguing. Would you prefer to have the Kop behind you, supporting you, acting as a extra wall, or would you prefer to be attacking it so that you've got the cop really close to the opposing goalkeeper? Always a weird one to weigh up from a opposing player's perspective. Ryan Kent drops it into Barisic. Barisic, we've not seen much of him tonight. To be honest, we've not seen too much of the attackers in the way of Rangers so far. Been very, very quiet. So they need to get themselves on the ball and get themselves some possession. Certainly where they're going to score tonight, unless they do a Celtic versus Barcelona and really do well when hitting on the counter-attack. Not seen anything of Ryan Kent. He was a man I highlighted at the beginning of this evening. Welcome back, Oliver. Going to finish 2-1 Paul, says Oliver. So he's backing Max and myself with a 2-1 prediction for the end of this, as that's a long ball over the top. That is not the greatest of clearances from McGregor, but it's done a job, and it found its way to Stephen Davis, the Northern Irish legend himself. Found its way through. But interesting how the second half is going to move. Jota's just dropped a little bit deeper to pick that one up there, and that's a lovely ball by Nunes, but he's just overhit that, and that is an awkward one back to McGregor from Connor Goldson, and eventually just sort of walloped clear. I think that's the technical word, isn't it? Walloped clear, potentially. I'm not sure you've heard the commentators say that very often, the word walloped, but that is what Alan McGregor did there. He was taking no prisoners. Here's Joel Matip driving forward into Luis Diaz. Diaz down the line to Jota. Jota! Oh, good defensive play there. Really good defensive play there by the young man. It's 4-1 to Napoli. Jesus, Napoli have turned on the style since going 1-0 down. They have turned on the style. Who's that one come from in the Napoli game? I need to update the thing scrolling across the bottom. I'm still at 1-1. Scrolling across the bottom. Don't know why it says Napoli Ajax versus Rangers either. Don't know when I changed that to say that, but I'm silly. So everyone knew what I was going with. Probably no one's even noticed it, to be fair. Napoli, oh my gosh, 4-1. I still had it saved on 1-1. Jeez. Shows how quick it's been moving in that game. That's a lovely ball now to Ryan Kent, who looks to roll that one across the box. Was trying to play a nice sort of angled pass through to Alfredo Morelos. Raspadori's got the fourth there. A few really poor performances. It looks like there's been a couple of mistakes from the Ajax goalkeeper by the looks of things, but Napoli running riot here. In Amsterdam. Salah into Nunes, who's going to bend one, and again high wide, not at all handsome, but less about me and more about Darwin Nunes. That shot was absolutely, yeah, that was never going in. Barca losing, my daily medicine, says Oliver. I love to see it. They nicked enough players from us. To now be losing is lovely to see. Is absolutely lovely to see. Who's getting relegated, my dear sir? Well, this season, I reckon Crystal Palace, Oliver, if I'm honest with you. I reckon they'll get relegated. Is that what you wanted me to brag about, how excellent you've been? Oh, sorry, excellent. I thought Conor Gallagher still played for you, and that's who got the winner this weekend. Trent Alexander-Arnold, good dribble. Oh, okay. Why has he hit that with so much force into Diego Jota? I will never know. Lundstrom does well. Drops it into Tavernier, I think that is. Good turn from Ryan Kent. Lovely turn. Sends Henderson with a dummy. Keeps on with the ball there, Kent, and he just took too long, and Thiago able to get a foot in the way and get back. Luis Diaz, good feet from Luis Diaz, brilliant feet from Luis Diaz, that is in, penalty ref, penalty it is, definite penalty, stonewall penalty. Luis Diaz, his feet were too quick, and the poor young man who's playing at centre half for Rangers He couldn't deal with him. He could not deal with him. There's been a couple of times where he's cut in, and Leon King just hasn't had the awareness and the skills in his locker, really, to defend from him. And it's a silly foul. Luis Diaz easily wins that one. There might have been an initial foul anyway from John Lundstrom. He'll have one of them. He's got one of them, and it's a Liverpool penalty. And this could shape the game. This really could. Brilliant play by Luis Diaz on the ball there. Mohamed Salah, though, against Alan McGregor. Don't want to come up against Alan McGregor in this form. Can McGregor solidify his man of the match? Can he? That is a big question. Big smiles on his face. He's probably not even worried now. He's like 40. I've already done that. I've done this millions of times. I'm not bothered anymore. It's probably what Alan McGregor is thinking. Well, here we go. Mohamed Salah versus Alan McGregor. Straight run up. Bends it to the right hand side. Mohamed Salah down the middle. Easy as you like. Vintage Mohamed Salah on the penalty there. And that gets himself on the score sheet from Mo Salah. You know he's going to score those. You cannot give penalties away against Liverpool. They've got too many world-class penalty takers in their team. And Mohamed Salah most certainly is one of them. 2-0. 2-0 to Liverpool, and to be honest with you, that for me looks like game over. Hate to say it, we are only at 2-0, but the attacking just hasn't been there for Rangers. Alan McGregor stood strong. It could have been maybe 6 at this point in time. Look at all those cameras out. God, guys, just enjoy the game. Just enjoy the game. 53rd. Yeah, and you never felt like Salah was going to miss there. McGregor had to dive one way. He did. It's a lottery. It's a gamble. If he'd have saved that, it'd definitely be man of the match for me, though. But he's still on for it, to be fair. Still on for that man of the match performance. Sam knows a lot about Liverpool penalties. Yes, I do. I've seen a lot of them in the flesh, and a lot of them went in. Unfortunately. Luis Diaz tries to drive. Ooh. That looked painful. It's fallen to Salah. Salah cutting in on that right foot, on that left foot, sorry. There might be a VAR check on that. One way or another. They're both clattered into each other, but I'm a bit worried that Luis Diaz went in with his studs up on that one. Oh, no. He's planted his foot, Luis Diaz. It's on the floor, and it's just a bit of a clatter in between Connor Goldson and Luis Diaz. They both just sort of hit each other on their way through, and yeah, it was going to be painful for both of them. I think it might be a dead knee for Connor Goldson, and a little bit of a bump to the chest for Luis Diaz. Not saying that Connor Goldson's knees are at the same height as Luis Diaz. Sir Alex Ferguson in attendance for tonight. Sat there with his little hot chocolate, I'm sure he is. Enjoying retirement. Maybe not after the weekend's fixtures anyway. Probably doing a bit of scouting of Liverpool, because someone's got to, because clearly Ten Hag isn't doing the job. Down the middle, I'm saying. Oh, Max, you called it. You called it. Good stuff, mate. If Barcelona don't go through the group, how many levers do you think they'll activate? They'll do loads of stuff, won't they? I've come to see you shamble show from crappy Rangers. Is that what you're calling it? You're going 3-0 Liverpool versus it. You're very optimistic for the London sides, aren't they? You can tell you're a Newcastle fan. Tom. Celtic are tiny. Well, if Haaland isn't playing tomorrow, I'm triple captaining him versus Southampton. I mean, I wouldn't blame you. I would not blame you, the form that he is in. But knowing my luck, if I were to do that, Oliver, then it would end up in it'd be the only game where Erling Haaland hasn't scored. Would be would be the one that I triple captain. I can almost guarantee that for you right now. Guys, we're on 11 likes at this current moment in time. Could you please smash that like button if you are enjoying for me, and get ourselves up to that like goal of 15 likes. We've got 35 minutes of football here. I'm sure we'll soon see some Rangers substitutes. That was a lot of S's. Gallagher red like against Leicester. What a tiny player. He will... I have no clue what you just put there, Oliver. He will throw his... What? I have no clue what you just put. I have no clue. Wouldn't surprise me, Tom, if it's... if Milan beat us 3-0, to be honest. At this point, nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me anymore. I feel like Tom doesn't have his sound on. How are Newcastle getting on, Tom? How are Newcastle getting on? We shall see if he's got his sound on. Van Dijk launches one up the field. Good header from Barisic. Good touch there from Lundstrom. Well nicked back though by Jordan Henderson. Tsimikas looks for Lundstrom. No, he doesn't. He looks for Thiago, but Lundstrom manages to get his foot in the way. Jacob Chapman, evening to you, says, I think Chelsea will sneak a 1-0 win. It's an interesting one tomorrow night, isn't it? It is an interesting one tomorrow night. I'm not sure how Chelsea are going to get on. Wasn't overly convinced with the game against Crystal Palace. It was a good game for, probably from a neutral perspective. It had a bit of everything. Not too many clear-cut opportunities again for Chelsea. But it does give me a little bit more confidence, that goal from Aubameyang, knowing that you've got someone there who's going to take those shots on when they arrive. Here's Tsimikas, rolls it back to the edge of the box, looking for, oh my gosh, looking for Thiago, and it was the defensive tackle, I think, of Lundstrom or Davis, who just played it through almost perfectly to Diego Jota. Thiago couldn't have done it better himself, and Jota's blazed it. No, he hasn't. It's another fantastic save from Alan McGregor. A good fingertip over the top of the crossbar. If that man doesn't get man of the match, he most certainly should, because it would be a cricket score if it wasn't for Alan McGregor. He's keeping his team in the game. He should be getting double money come the end of this game, I tell you what. The corner, though, goes all the way through to Salah on the edge. He's going to whip in on that left foot, and he's trying to bend one. Looking for the top corner there, and that was, again, high, wide, and not at all handsome. I'm not a Newcastle fan. I am streaming at the same time. Fair enough. Chelsea's next two fixtures. Who do we play? We play Wolves. I can't see Wolves scoring 3. I cannot see Wolves scoring 3. I saw a stat. A few weeks ago, actually. It wasn't even a few weeks ago. I think it was this weekend. Talking about, oh my God, Liverpool have had 20 shots on target. Rangers yet to register a shot on target. They've only had 2 attempts in total. But I saw a stat this weekend. Apparently Wolves have scored since April. They've scored less goals than Burnley in the Premier League. They've scored less goals since April, and Burnley haven't played since May in the Premier League. That is mental. That is mental. Something needs to change in that Wolves side. Oh my gosh. No! Why have you lagged then? No! Fire stick! Oh my God. If you could see what I can see now, it's a short pass to oh my gosh, it's clicked on finally. It was a short pass to Alan McGregor, and Jota, all I could see was he froze and he was about to pounce on it. He was about to pounce on it, and fortunately it managed to find its way back to Alan McGregor, but it was an awful back pass. Whoever played that is fortunate that McGregor was on his toes. I tell you what, McGregor doing everything tonight to keep Rangers in this game at this current moment. He's really put in a good performance. I'm not sure what's going on with this fire stick tonight and why it's just stopped working. I'm now like 30 seconds behind where I should be. But, oh well, we'll continue. We're behind anyway, as always. Connor Goldson just fouled there on a halfway line by Luis Diaz. The VAR officials are rich with money from the Big Six. They'll give you a new fire stick, Sam. Not sure they are. I feel like the lower fans always have an agenda against the big six sides, and I'm sure there is something that makes you think that, but I'm not so sure on it. Jacob Chapman. I think Liverpool will change after this and beat Arsenal. Oh, big call. As a Chelsea fan, I could do with them beating Arsenal. It'd be great to see Arsenal knock down a peg or two. Ryan Jack is going to be coming on for Rangers, and then someone who I am not familiar with as well. We'll wait until his name pops up. The big six pay the ref. There's always an agenda. People always have an agenda at the moment and always think everything's corrupt, and it's not. It's absolutely not. The same mistakes happen in the big six games as what happen in your games as well. The same mistakes happen. Good ball by Trent, and that's whipped across the box and goes out of play. Look, you say it as an agenda, all right, but what in the Chelsea game has an agenda? Like, what would you have changed in that game, Oliver? Because if you're saying that it should have been a red card for Thiago Silva, it was a foul in the first place from whoever it was who pushed into the back of him, whether it was Elise or whoever. It was a foul. I think it was Ayew, actually. It was a foul from them in the first place. It was two hands into the back. So if that's what you're saying, it wasn't a red card, because it should have been a foul initially. And then it also wasn't a red card because, was it Chilwell? Chilwell was a man over. You'd taken the ball out wide. It wasn't denying a clear goal scoring opportunity, and that's where the red cards fall. There's two ways to look at it. I can get it from a Crystal Palace perspective. It looks bad. But for me, it's a foul in the first place, a push on the back of Thiago Silva. You've got that one. Yeah, okay, whatever. But then, Thiago Silva, he handles it, yes, but the ball's going out wide. Ben Chilwell has plenty of time and plenty of space to cover, so it's not a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, nor is it because of the way that the ball moves. So no, it isn't a red card. Jota trying to wriggle his way through there. He's not one-on-one, though, because he's going out to the corner flag. He's going out wide. Trust me, Ben Chilwell would have got there. Ben Chilwell would. Even Thiago Silva might have got himself back up and ran straight back, and he would have got there before him. So there you are. For me, it was a foul. It was a foul on Thiago Silva anyway. So to be honest, I'm surprised that Ayew didn't get one. Oliver equals deluded. Says us, Tom. We're exactly the same. Van Dijk rolls that one down the line into the feet of Darwin Núñez. That's just my perspective on it. Of course, I understand that I'm a little bit... of course, I will be biased, but as soon as I saw it, I thought it was a foul because it was two hands in the back of Thiago Silva. Maybe he goes down a bit easy, but, we've seen it earlier on in this game. Two hands in the back resulted in a foul, and you can't do that. Said he would get back. It's the angle. You've got to bear in mind the angle, Oliver. You've got to bear in mind the angle. Trust me, there is not, in my opinion, if it came out and they said, look, VAR is corrupt, all of this has happened, Ryan Jack's coming on for Stephen Davis, all of this has happened, and look, yes, it is corrupt, I would be like, all right, fair enough, I'll give it to you. But there is nothing that I have seen, because you can say that there is a bias. Chelsea against Spurs should have had that second goal ruled out. There is no bias there. It happened. Mistakes happen. That Thiago Silva thing might not have even changed the game. Even if he gets sent off there is no guarantee that you win that game. There is absolutely no guarantee that you win that game. Yes, of course, it comes to bite you on the backside because Thiago Silva gets the assist for Chelsea. But for me, it was two hands pushed into the back, and that is a foul. By every stretch of the imagination, that is a foul. Thiago Silva shouldn't handle it. It's silly for him to handle it in the first place. Don't get me wrong. And I can see if... The question for me is, deliberate handball, is that a straight red card? It depends on where it is on the field. In that sense, I still think Chilwell would have got back. I think there was enough cover there because he was maybe 5 yards in front and to the left. So I think there's maybe enough cover there to justify that. But I do think sometimes fans particularly, when decisions go against them, they say that there is an agenda against them, when in reality these decisions happen all the time and they will happen whether there's VAR or not. And that would have happened. It wouldn't have been a red card if VAR was not there, Oliver. Because the on-field refereeing decision was a yellow card. It's not like the referee decided a red card and went, oh yeah. So the decision was already made. That's a good ball by Morelos to go down the line to Barisic. It's whipped in towards the box. And Alisson catches that one easily. Sam is always against us. I've put a thread on Twitter out. It's a joke. The thing is, it's always against us. We've had so many decisions against us. We've had so many against us. Look at the Carabao Cup final. That Romelu Lukaku offside, I will keep saying this, is no different to the one that I think it was Mahrez scored a week later for Manchester City. It happens in every single game. The reason you notice it more, Oliver, is because you support Crystal Palace. I will think of ones. It's 1-1 into Barca, by the way. I will think of ones which you guys probably can't think of and think, oh, well, that was nothing. But because I'm a Chelsea fan, I can tell you that that's when these issues have arisen. Diego Jota is going to be coming off now for Roberto Firmino, and that'll be Liverpool's first sub. We've got Fabinho as well coming on. I've got to go to in the flesh. I've seen so many games. I mean, admittedly, Oliver, you probably don't have the best view in the flesh. So it doesn't really make too much of a difference, and I still don't see how that's relevant, because you can still see it differently. You see it differently from everywhere you stood in the stadium, so going to see a game in the flesh isn't a reason that you would all of a sudden understand VAR and the referee any particular way. But the way that you see it, obviously you go to games all the time, you see Crystal Palace play all the time, you will pick up on these smaller ones. There will be small ones in everyone's game that we all don't notice. That there'll be one tonight that we'll look back on and we'll be like, oh, should that have been given? Should this have been given? There's always ones that fall into that. Oh, actually, Barcelona's goal's been ruled out for a foul. So there's another one there. There's been two in the other game. It's not that there's agenda against anyone. It's the way that football happens. Mistakes happen. Salah cuts in on that left foot, and that is cleared by Rangers. But what himself into trouble there was Ryan Kent. Unfortunately, he managed to get himself a free kick. Not sure there was too much of a free kick into that, and neither did Roberto Firmino. Let's see. I mean, he turns into Ryan Kent. It's debatable. I think if that had gone in the back of the net, then they would have had a decision for VAR. But, yeah, didn't end up in the back of the net, so not really a problem. It's Big Six bias. I'm not sure it is. You can say that, but then what would you say about Nottingham Forest versus Huddersfield in the final of the playoffs? There was a poor decision made there. Lewis O'Brien was fouled. That would have changed the final. I know it's a different league, but mistakes happen, Oliver. Mistakes happen. I'm not sure I would say it's a red, because again, I've seen it from the different perspective. I have seen it from the different perspective, Oliver. That's the thing. You've kind of got to open it up, and you've got to look at two sides of the coin. And the referee, even if you get rid of VAR there, the referee has still not sent Thiago Silva off. The VAR official then had an opportunity to look at it, had an opportunity to change it, and still chose not to change it. But anyway, we shall move on, because otherwise you're just going to repeat the same arguments, and it does get a little bit tiring at that point. As Luis Diaz, that was a great ball from Trent Alexander-Arnold as he looked to play that one into that left wing. Ooh, I'm not sure he is offside there. Luis Diaz. Is that top six bias? I think it might be. Here comes Alfredo Morelos. He's coming off for Antonio Colac. .72 minutes on the clock. Remains Liverpool 2, Rangers 0. The goals coming from Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah as well. I'll check Insta in a bit. I've got the scores up on the other one, so I'm not having a look. Oh god, my back just really tightened up then. Oh. Porto have finally scored against Bayer Leverkusen. After 2 disallowed goals in that game, we finally might have got ourselves a winner, or even an opener, in the game between Porto and Bayer Leverkusen. You can really see there's a top six bias on that one, I tell you what. Mohamed Salah has the ball, rolls it down the line to Darwin Núñez, who pulls it back! Oh! Luis Diaz, open goal, puts it wide, and he was offside anyway, Darwin Núñez. And Núñez pulls the face of, I'm not sure on that one, referee. It was a good tackle. Who's that from? Thiago. Great tackle. Yeah, he is offside. He is offside. The referee and the linesman allowed it to carry on, but Luis Diaz, he should score. He should score. He must score from there. Surely. You are behind me about 20 seconds. Yeah, my thing cut out, so I imagine I would be. But that's a big opportunity. Shame it was offside anyway. Well, not a shame for Luis Diaz, because he was the one who fumbled the bag with that one. Should have put that in the back of the net. Here's Lundstrom. Pings back to Lundstrom again, and that is offside as the ball is played back over the top. Predictions for the Japan GP? Oh god, I couldn't even tell you. High downforce track, lots of corners, probably suit Ferrari a bit better than it will Red Bull, but Max will probably still win anyway. Dusan Tadic has just been sent off as well in the Ajax game, so to make matters worse for Ajax against Napoli, they're now without Dusan Tadic, who is in the top, I think he's in the top 15, is it, for most ever career assists, Dusan Tadic, which is a stat I never thought that I'd say. Particularly when he left Southampton, I thought he was going to be, you know, he's off to Ajax as a bit of a retirement home, but no, he's really kicked on, but quite literally kicked on tonight as he's been kicked off the pitch. Ryan Kent here on the left-hand side into Barisic. Barisic rolls it back to excuse me, Barisic once again. Trent wins the ball back that time, nearly gives the ball away as well as he looks to find Joel Matip. Liverpool are going to calmly and collectly play their way out. Here is Núñez looking forward for Mohamed Salah. Salah's touch his paw though, and it's well read there by Ryan Jack. And he said Jack Ryan then. Isn't that a TV programme on Amazon Prime? Am I right in saying that? I might be. It was so promising for Ajax. You watching Chelsea tomorrow? No, I play like 6-a-side, 5-a-side football on a Wednesday, so I'm just going to play that tomorrow. Club Brugge are 2-0 up against Atletico Madrid as well now, and Madrid have just missed the penalty as well, so not a good night for them either. A couple of upsets on the cards, and a few teams will be have a night to forget in the Champions League tonight. Won't be one for Rangers to forget. It's been an okay performance, but it's not been fantastic. They've got 15 minutes here where Liverpool have just taken their foot off the gas a little bit. Maybe an opportunity for them to get themselves that goal and match Max's and Oliver's predictions from the beginning of the game. It gets to a stage, unfortunately, with most football matches anyway, when it gets to sort of like 77 minutes and you kind of know what the outcome's going to be, and you're like, oh, if it's just going to be that outcome, I wish it would just hurry up. And that's why I just want a big sort of 13 minutes from Rangers, just to spice it up, even just to get the one goal, and then it puts a few question marks in the backs of Liverpool's minds and stuff like that, as Roberto Firmino looks forward towards Núñez again. That's a better touch from him, but Connor Goldson easily blocks that one. Darwin Núñez must have had about 6 shots in this game, which is mental at this current moment in time. 5 minutes and I'm shutting the large Redgate for the what? I can't even see what that says. My laptop is like 4. Well, how long are my legs? I was going to say 4 foot, but I don't think my legs are that long. My laptop's about 3 foot away, so I can't actually. 3 foot? 3.5 foot. I'm 6'1", so I can't imagine my legs being exactly half the size of me. Although, would they be? That's interesting. Ignore me, everyone. Ignore me. This is what goes on in my head all the time, trying to work out silly things. Depends how big your head is, isn't it? Do you reckon that justifies it being half the size? I don't know. Because your torso, you definitely like to think your torso is smaller than your legs. Depends how big your torso is, I guess. You'd look a bit funny though, wouldn't you, with a massive torso and tiny legs. That's a good ball into Luis Diaz. Tackled though by Rangers, giving the ball back to Thiago. Goes out onto this left hand side. Oh, good running from Tsimikas as he tries to pull that one back. It's played onto Darwin Núñez and gone out of play. Once again, your legs ain't the same as your body. I know, that's what I was meaning. I don't know if your head makes up for that, and so you end up like 3 foot. I'm going to have to try this. I did this the other day. Darwin Núñez is coming off, by the way, before I tell you this fantastic story about what I did on my lunch break the other day. Darwin Núñez comes off for Harvey Elliott, so that'll be more of a 4-3-3 that we're used to. And it's like James Milner looking rather dashing with a beard. And Thiago is going to be the man making way as well. Just a little insight into the brain of Sam Redgate-Large. But the other day, I was sat having a drink, and I was that intrigued to see how much volume of liquid, like, you know when you take a drink, how much liquid is actually in your mouth at that time. So I used a measuring cylinder and measured it. And in fact, not only did I do it, I then got Dad, Mum, and Erin all to do it as well. So you can see why these things go around in my head. The difference between people with big torso and long legs is when you sit down. Yeah, it definitely is. Hopefully Chelsea beat AC Milan, so Chelsea can sign Rafael Leao. I actually tipped. I didn't tip him to. Matonda's coming on, but I actually said in one of my videos over the summer it was one player each team will sign, and I said about Leicester City signing him. Obviously, with the start that they've made to this season and Kasper Schmeichel leaving, now I would go, yeah, they need a goalkeeper. But I thought Rafael Leao would be a great signing for them. I really did think he'd be a great signing for them. And he'd be a great signing for anyone. Really would. He's a fantastic player. Good on the ball. Powerful, strong. Got a keen eye for goal as well. Glenn Kamara's just come on as well for Ben Davies. So a bit more A bit more attacking emphasis here from Rangers in the final 9 or so minutes. There's been a couple of substitutions. Matondo has come on as well. People being a bit harsh on Ward IMO. No, absolutely not. He should be nowhere near a Premier League side. Don't get me wrong. Wales don't have many good goalkeepers, so he maybe should be there. But he should be nowhere near a Premier League side. Here's Fashions Zakala, who also came on earlier on. I was trying to work out his name. Goldson rolls it out wide. Here's King, the young man. Other than that one mistake against Luis Diaz, he's putting a decent name for himself tonight. Trent brings the ball down, a bit of a wayward pass there. And it turns out he was offside anyway. So there's that top six bias once again. Harvey Elliott walking himself into trouble. He's number 2. Is he actually? Have they not updated his kit number? Have they not given him number 1? Barcelona still losing. They are. Napoli are now 6-1 up. So if Liverpool were worried about their goal difference, they will no longer be worried about their goal difference and competing with Ajax on that one. Because it is 6-1 to Napoli. And it has been an absolute riot of a game. There's Ryan Jack there. Whew. Rangers are just getting a bit sloppy now. They've given the ball away here to Luis Diaz. James Milner is going to go down the left-hand side, going to try whip it in. And that's gone out of play for a corner. Yeah, a few signs of Rangers losing a little bit of faith now, giving up just a little bit. Does look like they've given up just a little bit. There was a few mistakes that have just slid in there. It is a Liverpool corner. The big boys are coming up from the back, of course. Joe Matip, the big Verge. Oof. I tell you what, Joe Matip was not far away from making that 3-0 to Liverpool from that corner. They just sort of fell in silence. I thought it was going to be Van Dijk, and then it just dropped just over him, and King is very lucky there. He has no clue where Matip is. He doesn't really try. He just kind of jumps near him. He doesn't really try and attack the ball, the young man. Glenn Kamara deemed to have given away a foul as well. Imagine if backup keepers are actually number 2. Yeah, that would be weird. Imagine if it was like, you know, when you take your 23-man squad, it would be 1, 2 and 3. That'd be definitely strange. Thoughts on the new F1 calendar? It's a good question, that, Max. Good question. I'm not sure. I can see why a lot of people have moaned. In terms of the actual tracks, I am sort of a little bit impartial to it. You're always going to have a track that you don't like. So for me, that's not really a problem. But it seems weird. That's a really good run down that left-hand side. And oh my gosh, what great defending that is from Tsimikas, who was running down that, who was running through the middle there. I think that was Matondo going down that left-hand side. It was a delicate run under Alisson, and it was just about bending in, I think, from Tsimikas. He didn't know if it was off wide anyway. There was a man arriving late. It was good play down that left-hand side, just the spark that they might have needed, and that might fall for him. Oh, good save by Alisson. Point blank range from Alisson there, and it was it was Selic who's up front for Kolak, who's up front for Rangers on his left foot. Maybe he should be doing better there, you know. It's a split shot sort of opportunity. Falls to him really quickly, and it's a great save from Alisson Becker. Makes himself big. What tracks got taken away? I only see France. I think it might only be France because there's now 24 tracks, isn't there? With the addition as well of Vegas. And is China back? China might be back. Is China back? I think China might be. We've still not got Portimao back either. I don't think. But yeah, I think it's a bit weird to go to America 3 times. like when we're trying to cut down emissions and stuff like that. If you're going to do that, have an American season, like have 6 races maybe over the course of 8 weeks or something like that, or over the course of 9 weeks, and have an American season. Then have a Europe season. Then there are no African tracks, but if there were, have one of those, and then have an Asian/Australia season. That to me would make the most sense. China and Qatar as well. Oh yeah, good shout, good shout. Yeah, I don't really mind. Like I say, it's just that thing about cutting emissions, isn't it? You know, Vettel and Hamilton and people like that work really hard to make the sport as good as it can be, and particularly Vettel has spoken out about the emissions and how Formula One can try and help itself not improve the climate, but reduce its impact on the climate. And for them then to go to America 3 times in a year seems a little bit counterproductive. I don't know why you just wouldn't have, like I say, an American one, an Asian one, a Asian/Australia part of the calendar, and then a European calendar. Also seems a bit funny to put Silverstone, I forgot his name there, Jesus, I forgot Silverstone's name. It also seems a bit funny to 23 minus 1 plus 3 is 25. Was there 22? I think there's 24 races this year. There might be another one that they've dropped. I could be wrong though. There is definitely more this year than there has been. Let's have a look at the list. F1 calendar 2023 is Liverpool wind the time down here. Max keeping me entertained. There's 24. So you've got Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Australia, China. Okay, that for me is fine. But Australia, China, and then you go back to Azerbaijan. Why not just move Azerbaijan up near Saudi Arabia and Bahrain? Obviously not the country. You can't move Azerbaijan up or move it around, but the race itself, 24 races next year, yeah. Then you've got Miami just randomly, which to me seems strange. Then you've got like European bit, and again, like I say, but halfway through that you then go to Canada, which again just seems strange. Then you've got Austria, United Kingdom, Hungary, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy. Then you go to Singapore, Japan. Then you go back to Qatar. So I don't know why you wouldn't put Qatar near Saudi Arabia. In terms of race calendar, not move it again like I did with thingy. And then you go back to America, and then you come back to Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi. So I don't get that. I really don't get that. You know, we've all got to do our bit to try and reduce emissions. It doesn't take much. I understand that some of the races need to be at different times of the year. Maybe we have to change the race calendar in order to suit that, though. Maybe that's what we'll have to do, because they have to be at different times in order to not have ice, not have these different things, make sure it's not snowing, have it as because you won't be able to have like a night race in Canada in the winter, because well, it just wouldn't work, would you? Van Dijk, oh, nearly gives the ball away there. I also saw something that the Las Vegas Grand Prix, for the first time in however many years, will be the first race to take place on a Saturday because of the time zone differences. For it to be a decent time in Europe and Asia, it has to be done at like 11 o'clock or 11:30 on a Saturday night. So that's an interesting fact for you. Poor F1 drivers going everywhere. Yeah, exactly. We've got 4 minutes of added time at the end of this game, and then that will be it from us tonight. Will Rangers get themselves a consolation goal? Maybe an opportunity here. Here's Matondo. Rolls it into Kolak. Oh, what a tackle that is. James Milner. What a tackle that is. And Harvey Elliott's going to ping a delicious ball to Mo Salah. Good touch by the Egyptian. Cuts in on that left foot. Mohamed Salah, can he finish it? No, he can't. Alan McGregor empties his pockets, finds his keys, finds his wallet, finds Mohamed Salah, and finds Darwin Núñez at the end of this game. Salah could only score via a penalty, and wow, Darwin Núñez has not been at his best. He's been taking a lot of shots, but hasn't been at his best. Ooh, just over 2 minutes left. Can we have some late drama, please? I don't know what the late drama would entail. Imagine 2 quick goals from Rangers against the comeback kings. I thought Liverpool were going to have done it again, you know, this weekend. I thought they'd done it again. Till Trossard scored that third, I was like, oh, God, they've done it again, haven't they? They love a comeback at Anfield, don't they? I tell you what, for all my criticisms of Luis Diaz, he does put in a shift. I will give him that. Like, in comparison to the likes of like Mohamed Salah and some of the other Liverpool players, he does put in a shift, and I admire that. Even if I don't think he's the most clinical of strikers, he's very good on the ball. Trent Alexander-Arnold's going to be making way with about a minute or so left to go. Just a little bit of time wasting here to make sure that Rangers don't do that impossible comeback. Should I just support Plymouth? That is completely your decision, but I wouldn't support Tottenham, even if someone put a gun to my head. That's how much I don't like him. I feel like if you ever ask someone like who doesn't support their local side, in the sense of they didn't grow up in a big city, or like with a side that was always on TV. If you're a first generation football fan and you were to be like, oh yeah, if your team suddenly didn't exist, who would you support? I feel like most people would just be like, yeah, I'll just go support my local team. Because now when you're a bit older and you can sort yourself out and you can watch the games yourself, you can find ways and means of watching them. I feel like people's decisions would have been made differently. But when you're younger, you can only watch Match of the Day in order to see these people play all the time. And so it's a little bit difficult to support if you can't see. If you can't see, you can't be. There you are. Here goes Mo Salah down the right-hand side again. Looks like he's full of running. That being said, he hasn't done much running all night. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Tottenham Hotspur finishes 0-0. Glad I didn't watch that one. I was toying with the idea of watching that one as Salah toys with Barisic down the left-hand side. Here he is, Salah once again. Going to cut in, looking for that left foot. He's looking to unleash a finesse. Here is Firmino, who he's played it into. Harvey Elliott back to Joe Gomez. Go Gomez. And there we are. That is full time then, ladies and gents. That is full time. A bit of a disappointing end to the game for Rangers, who will have been hoping for better. But Liverpool didn't really do too much wrong, did they? Did not really do too much wrong in that game. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a delicious free kick just inside 10 minutes, followed by a Mohamed Salah penalty. It's been a sensational night for Alan McGregor. It would have been 6, 7, 8, you name it. It could have been that today for Liverpool. They have played really well, but they maybe just haven't been clinical enough. Darwin Núñez, like I said, has been in the pocket of Alan McGregor all game. It's been a difficult one. It has been a difficult game for Darwin Núñez. Alan McGregor's put in a fantastic shift. My man of the match by a long shot. A standout player, a really good performance. I will leave you guys there, though, as it is getting late. And Max is going anyway, so see you later, Max. Probably see you at the weekend. I'm going to do a 3 o'clock kickoff stream at the weekend. I think Erin's going away for the night, so I might do a couple of streams because I've got nothing better to do. So there we are, might as well do that. But I will see you later. Have a good night. It's been a good Champions League night. I've enjoyed the game. It's just a shame that for Rangers, they couldn't put more of a performance in and get themselves a goal. Would have been nice to see Rangers find the back of the net tonight. Thank you for watching, guys. If you haven't already, do be sure to smash that like button for us and do hit subscribe as well. We're trying to move ourselves to 1,000 subscribers. I do want to try hit that by the end of the year. It's taken a while. It's taken longer than I anticipated it taking. But that's just one of those things, isn't it? Thank you for watching, guys. And most importantly,